Walker on this list. Maybe I should have. That Hail Mary was pretty good. And he didn't play bad when he was starting. But we're talking about Sam Darnold here. Yeah, he hasn't been bad this season. He's been playing up for that contract ever since Baker went to Los Angeles. I don't know, guys. I just don't think he's that good, honestly. I mean, he hasn't been playing bad, but I just don't think he's that good. And at number 32, I know I'm shitty explanations. I'm sorry for that. But number 32, he filled in for what, 4 or 5 games for an injured Dak Prescott and Cooper Rush and went 4-1. He might have went 5-0. I don't actually remember, but damn, what a backup to have. What a backup to have. I forgot to put someone on this list. I didn't put Colt McCoy on this list. He started almost as much as Kyler. So maybe I should have put Colt McCoy on this list. He would have went. I mean, it's too late now. But Cooper Rush, great dude. He played pretty great. And the third quarterback for this team is at 31, and that's Mike White. And oh my God, I love watching this kid play football. I mean, he's been playing lights fucking out when he plays, and the only knock on him is that he keeps breaking his rib. And that's not his fault that he keeps getting injured, but holy shit, guys, I love watching Mike White play. We're watching. He needs to be the starter next year. I don't care. But we need to see the Mike White-led New York Jets, and they will make the playoffs, mark my word. They might make the playoffs this year, but what? Joe Flacco's starting on Sunday. All right. At number 30, I have the first 49er quarterback, Brock Purdy. He started the last, 4 games? And you know what? You guys can say all you want because I can believe it too. It's the system. Kyle Shanahan has the best system in football, in my opinion. That run-heavy offense mixed with a little bit of Debo Samuel. Dude, that defense itself is incredible. But, I mean, dude, Brock Purdy has been stepped up for an injured Jimmy Garoppolo and Trey Lance. And number 29, he wasn't on my list because of, well, when I named the guy, you guys will know what it was because of. It's the fucking scum of the earth, Deshaun Watson. It pains me to have to put him this low, only because before that whole the massage stuff went around, he was probably my second favorite quarterback behind Josh Allen. I loved watching Deshaun Watson play, and he missed all of last year, missed half of this season. So, I mean, he's not playing good. But I really feel like if he would have went to a better team drafted, none of that massage parlor stuff came on, I feel like he'd be on the same level as a Patrick Mahomes, a Josh Allen. Because he was making plays. Even if he wasn't on it, he led the Texans a 3 and something when they had literally nobody except Brandon Cooks on that team. He took the Texans to the playoffs a couple years. I mean, he'll probably be better next season, and I don't know how to feel about that because for what he did, I can't like him again, like personally. But I thought he was a really good quarterback before that. And then we're gonna go to 28 now, and that's gonna be filling in for Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton. I mean, he's playing good. He's playing like Andy Dalton. Not like old Andy Dalton. The red rifle is back. Not as good as he used to be, but I mean, he's leading that Saints team pretty well. And I'll give him credit for that. He wasn't on my list. Alright, this is going to mess with me. I want to see where this next guy was on my list. At 14, at the beginning of the season, I had your number 27. My number 27 now he went from 14 to 27. It's Matt Ryan. I didn't put Sam Ellinger on this list either. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Matt Ryan holds almost all the records you don't want. He's he was a good quarterback until about this year. I mean, you ask yourself, can he lead a team? I mean, it's not injuries. His age, he's getting up there in age. He's 37. I thought he was going to be a really good quarterback this year, and he wasn't, and that upsets me. This is the next one. I want a moment of silence for. This one's gonna hurt me to announce. And you guys may say I have him too high, and I probably do. Dropping 20 spots on my list, I have Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is at 26 for my Broncos. He is having an awful season. Is he getting old? Is he cooked? Was he really always just this bad in Seattle and nobody realized it because Pete Carroll is a good coach? I don't believe so. I don't think Pete Carroll's that good of a coach. But look at what the Seahawks are doing with Geno Smith now. Playoff contention. They win and Lions win, they're in the playoffs. If they lose, they're out of the playoffs. I really want to see the Lions make the playoffs, but I mean, in my opinion, it was Nathaniel Hackett. I don't think he was a good coach. I thought he was the right hire at the time. I am not gonna front to you guys, but Nathaniel Hackett shit the fucking bed. And at number 25, we have the fill-in for Deshaun Watson, Jacoby Brissett. I was really fighting with myself if I wanted to put Jacoby Brissett above Russell Wilson because we could have had Jacoby Brissett, and I'm not a big Jacoby Brissett fan. He was good though, like what, couple years he filled in for Brady, and then he went to the Colts. He was really good as a Colt, and now he's a Brown. There might have been a team in between the Colts and Browns. I don't really know. But yeah, he's 25 on my list. I mean, good job to you. You weren't supposed to be as good as you were. And I think the Browns might have been better with Jacoby Brissett than they are with Deshaun Watson right now. But granted, Deshaun Watson hasn't played in. Before his first start, he didn't play in a whole season and, 11 games? You guys might think I have this guy too high, but at 24, I have Baker Mayfield. Carolina, he was doing Baker Mayfield-ish things. He wasn't bad. He wasn't good. It just bad fit for him. He had DJ Moore and Christian McCaffrey for some of it, and they just couldn't get the offense going. Then he got benched for PJ Walker. No, he got hurt, and PJ Walker came in, and then he got bent, became the third string. So then he asked for a release, and he went to Los Angeles Rams. And I kid you not, you guys probably already know this, but like less than 3 days of him being there, he didn't start. John Wolford started, but John Wolford got one drive, and Baker came in and led them to a comeback victory in the fourth quarter against the Raiders. He didn't know the playbook, but him and Sean McVay just fucking clicked in that game. That game was insane, and I think my bias is with that game, and maybe with the was it 2 or 3 touchdown performance he had in the 51, whatever the Broncos had on Christmas Day. That one fucking hurt. Uh, that one hurt a lot. And at 23, we have Matthew Stafford. Matthew Stafford was number 7 on my list at the beginning of the season. I still think he's a top 10 quarterback. Injuries derailed his season, and this is pretty much based on the season. This isn't who I think is the top coming out of the season. Who I think is the top it's a little bit of both. Who I thought played the best during the season and worked their way up. Before next season starts, you'll get my list of in a row who I think's the best. But yeah, that season kind of Did a lot in my ranking. And at number 22, unpopular opinion, because I don't think he's that good. I really don't think he's that good. But at number 22, I have Mac Jones. He has fallen off since last season. Granted, it's his second season. But it's so insane to me, dude. He had no weapons last season. And now that he has, a few Devontae Parker, Jacoby Myers, I don't think played for them last season, did he? I could be wrong. Kendrick Bourne, maybe. But now that he has more weapons, he got worse, and I don't understand. I didn't think he was that good last season. I thought Davis Mills played the best last season out of all the rookies that season, but I could be wrong. And at number 21, I have Kenny Pickett. And let me tell you guys, wasn't high on Kenny Pickett in the draft, but after this season, I have him at 21. I'm sorry. But after the draft, I wasn't very high on Kenny Pickett. I wasn't high on any of these quarterbacks in the draft, honestly. But I don't know if it's the Mike Tomlin magic or what. I am so sorry for this. My dogs. I think they want to go outside, and I'll let them. Hey, I'll let you guys outside after this video, all right? I wasn't very high on him coming into the draft or coming out of the draft, but watching him play this season, it's just like raising my interest in him. And I believe if he makes the playoffs and has like 2 more good games, if he has a really good game next week and makes the playoffs and then shows me something in the playoffs, I think I might have him in top 15 by the time next year's ranking comes out. I don't know. We'll find out. But at number 20, watch, I am proud of this dude. I really thought he was awful. He went from 27 to 20 on my list. Danny fucking Dimes. He is leading his team to the playoffs. Saquon. Saquon's leading this team to the playoffs. I am so sorry that these dogs are going off. Hey. But Saquon Barkley's pretty much leading this team. There's no receivers on this team. But Danny Dimes has worked on his interceptions, worked on his fumbles. He has less turnovers than his past years. And I don't think he's a bad quarterback anymore. He's barely making the top 20 in my opinion. But I really thought he was going to be a backup after this season. And at number 19, this is going to be an unpopular opinion because everybody is high on him, and I'm not. Justin Fields is 19 for me. Yeah, he's good at running the football, and you can give that to Lamar Jackson. Yeah, he's good at running the football, but Lamar Jackson's more dominant in running the football than Justin Fields. Justin Fields looks a little bit faster, in my opinion, but Lamar Jackson does things when he's running that nobody else can. Not even most running backs do. And I don't know what this misconception about Lamar Jackson not being a good passing quarterback. He's inconsistent, yes. But there is high points in the season for maybe 6 to 7 point games where Lamar Jackson can throw a fucking dot. And Justin Fields can't throw that good. I don't know if it's his receivers not. I don't watch Bears, so I don't know if it's his receivers not getting open or if he's missing the throws. But he's a good runner. Don't get me wrong. He's getting averaging 100 rushing yards a game, but what? Maybe less than 100 passing yards. Maybe he'll prove me wrong because I can tell you the number 10 spot on my list. I thought he was going to be a bust, and he proved me wrong. And you guys are going to call me insane for who it is. But I thought he was a bust, and he proved me wrong, so maybe Justin Fields can prove me wrong. But at number 18, he just got benched for Jared Stidham. He's done with the Raiders, but Derek Carr, you could not count on him not to throw an interception or not lose you the game. It was one game he's Superman, the next game he's Superman after he got hit with kryptonite. He was just so inconsistent this season, and that's what lost him his spot in Las Vegas. I think he's going to get traded. Do I know where he's going to get traded to? Maybe the Bucks? Maybe the Jets? I don't know, but it's his time in Vegas is done after like what, 8-9 seasons. And at number 17, he made it. He was 17 on my last one too. He was 17 at mine in the beginning, and he stayed at 17 this time. His number is 17. I have Ryan Tannehill. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is that good. I don't think Ryan Tannehill is good. I don't think he's ever been good. Yeah. I mean, people aren't going to like that, but I just don't think he's a good quarterback. But that dog's not going to be quiet. I'm sorry. I'm just going to have to talk louder. But I don't think he's ever been a good quarterback. And at number 16, I got to move this along a little bit faster. I have Kyler Murray. He wasn't having an awful season, wasn't having a good season. I feel like he would have been higher if he would have finished the season because he had that hamstring injury that knocked him out of the what was it, 49ers and Rams game? That knocked him out of the 49ers and Rams game, and then he had the ACL in the third play of the Patriots game. I feel like he would have done better if he got to finish the season. So at number 15, we have Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, he does what he does best. Middle of the road quarterback. Not the best, not the worst. Just like middle of the road. He'll win you games. And he'll lose you games. He's very good at winning those games, though. I'll give him that. Then he got injured, and Brock Purdy just stepped up and took over. And Jimmy Garoppolo should be back for the playoffs, I believe. He might be back this week. And at number 14, he's a little inconsistent, but when he's on, he's fucking on, and that is Jared Goff. He's a little inconsistent, but when he's hot, he's fucking hot, dude. And he plays good. Sorry, I unplugged my remote. But when he's hot, he's hot. And Jared Goff is pretty good. He's doing a lot better than he was in Los Angeles, I can tell you that much, except he hasn't led him to a Super Bowl yet. All right, and at number 13, this one pains me, but Geno Smith, pretty good season so far. He's like borderline top 10 in my opinion, but he's just going to miss out on the top 10. Number 12, overrated to me. I don't think he's the best, but he's not the worst. Dak Prescott. He probably would be in top 10 if he didn't miss those 5 games at the beginning of the season with that broken hand. But I don't have anything bad. I don't have anything good to say about Dak Prescott, honestly. He's all right. And at number 11, this gives me so much joy to tell you that this guy is not in the top 10. And you can be pissed off, but, oh, he's the greatest of all time. Oh, he's not having a bad season. It's Tom Brady. He has to be up there. No, Tom Brady is not a top 10 quarterback to me this year. Tom Brady has played fucking abysmal this season. I mean, yeah, he still has good passing yards, decent amount of touchdowns, decent completion percentage of what he's thrown 6 or 7 interceptions, but he's not winning his team game. he's being a crybaby after everything, yelling at his teammates after every little thing. I just don't think Tom Brady's played good this year. I think that divorce hit him more than he wants to admit. And if he was in a better division, he would not have made the he will not he would not have made the playoffs. He is making the playoffs because he's in a division with the Panthers, the Saints, and the oh, you guys are gonna roast me. Falcons. Three bad teams. All of them ended up being in playoff contention because none of them can win more than 6 fucking games. And Brady, like, what? 8? He has 8 wins. And he got bailed out in that first Falcons matchup when it was Grady Jarrett. That play pissed me the fuck off. Grady Jarrett taps his shoulder and they call roughing the passer on him. And then that gives him range to win that game. Or if I gotta stop talking about this. Brady is not top 10. He's 11 to me this season. He may even be 12. Dak Prescott may be better than him this season. Dak Prescott may even be better than him this season, but Brady is 11, not even close to 10. I'm going to be roasted for this next one. 10, and I'll explain why. 10 is Trevor Lawrence. I thought he was going to be a bust. I'm not going to lie. I thought the first pick in that draft should have been No, I thought he was going to be the first pick. I just thought that whole draft class of quarterbacks was going to suck. I thought Trevor Lawrence was going to be a bust, and I'll apologize. Last season he didn't look too good, but you don't look good with bad head coaches. We figured that out with Urban Meyer. We figured that out with Nathaniel Hackett. We figured that out all the way back in Jason Garrett's time in the Cowboys. He should not have stayed there that long. But I thought he was going to be a bust, but he turned out to be a hell of a fucking player. He was a up and down Rocky at the beginning of the season, but this last like 6 games, he has been lights fucking out, and now he has a chance to win a division and make the playoffs if he beats the Titans this week, which I have them beating the Titans. The Jaguars are probably going to the playoffs, and it's gonna all be because of Trevor Lawrence. And I mean, it sucks being proven wrong, but Trevor Lawrence has played his fucking ass off, and I'll give him that. If he would have played like that for a little bit longer, he would be ahead of Lamar Jackson, who I have at 9. And I don't get your guys' conception of he can't pass the football. He's great at passing football. He needs more weapons. Mark Andrews can't be your only fucking weapon. Isaiah Likely's been pretty good. Devin Duvernay's been like, eh. Rashad Bateman's hurt. Devin Duvernay's hurt. But Lamar Jackson's at number 9. Number 8, this is a toss-up for me. But I'm switching my list. I'm switching 8 and 7. I'm switching 8 and 7. Only because... Alright, this is a hot take, but 8 is Aaron Rodgers. He had a pretty bad beginning of the season. None of his receivers could catch, which isn't his fault. They were losing consistently. They've picked it back up the last few weeks, and if they beat the Lions, they're in the playoffs. But they picked it up the last few weeks, but beginning of the season, awful. None of his receivers could catch, which isn't all his fault. But then Christian Watkins finally learned how to use his hands, and now he scored so many touchdowns in a row, dude. It's insane. And then who I switched him with, I originally had this guy at 8 and Rodgers at 7, but I switched to Rodgers at 8 and Captain fucking Kirk. This hurts me, dude. Captain Kirk Cousins is at 8. I had him at 10 at the beginning of the season because I really didn't think he was a top 10 quarterback. I'm still iffy on it, but when you have a receiver like Justin Rogan Jefferson's, yeah, you're going to look like a top 10 quarterback. And he's playing like a top 10 quarterback, so I'll give him that. All right. I want to see what my biggest jump up. So I had this guy at 5, and now I have him at 6. He's a really great player, don't get me wrong. There's just 5 other quarterbacks who play better than him this season. And it doesn't reflect on him as a player because I feel like he's a top 5 quarterback, but Justin Herbert is my number 6 quarterback, and that's only because there's 3 other quarterbacks that played. I mean, 5 quarterbacks ahead of him who's played better, and that's Justin Herbert. I mean, dude, you don't see arm talent like that. I mean, you can. I think he has a stronger arm than Patrick Mahomes. Big body where he has like Josh Allen type running that he could do. I mean, the beginning of the season was a little bit rocky, and when you have Brandon Staley as your head coach, it's going to be rocky. But I think Justin Herbert is something special, dude. At number 5, if it wasn't for all the concussions, he might be up there higher. But it's Tua Tagovailoa. Really slept on him. I had him at number 23, and he moved up to 5. He's had an amazing season, dude. I mean, other than that concussion that he suffered in week 4, week 3, kept him out a few games. He would be leading. I think he'd be leading the league in touchdown passes and passing yards if he didn't get hurt those weeks. And then he got hurt again a couple weeks ago. But I think he did enough to solidify that top 5 spot for this season. And it hurts me that I have who I think is the best quarterback in this draft class out of. Oh, okay, you know what? We're gonna tell you the next player. Number 4 is Joe Burrow, and it hurts me. I feel like Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in this draft class, so he's good up there. But I feel like Justin Herbert and Joe Burrow are so close together in like the race, and the only thing that separates them is wins. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl last year, so everybody's gonna think he's better. But you gotta remember, he didn't play his first full season, not fault of his own. His offensive line was abysmal, and he tore his ACL. But Justin Herbert, the way Justin Herbert slings a rock, you could argue. I think Justin Herbert might be the best quarterback in this draft class so far. And I think Joe Burrow is number 2, and Tua Tagovailoa is number 3. But in my list, I have Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, and Justin Herbert. But in my list, personally, I think I might go Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, and Tua Tagovailoa. But that gives nothing away. Joe Burrow went to the Super Bowl last year with defense clicked at the right time. He had a bad offensive line. He kept getting sacked every game and still getting it out. I think Joe Burrow is an amazing quarterback. I think the only thing that separates him and Herbert is the little bit longer Herbert played because of Burrow's injury. But that takes me to number 3. And the top 3 quarterbacks, in my opinion, were hard to choose from. And there might be a little bit of biasm here, but number 3, I have Jalen Hurts. He's missed the last couple games, and I think that's what gives the other 2 guys a nod over him. Where's the Eagles at? But Jalen Hurts is my MVP vote. I think Jalen Hurts should win the MVP, and I don't think there's a question. I don't think Patrick Mahomes should win it. I don't think Josh Allen should win it, and that hurts me because I love Josh Allen. Jalen Hurts is my MVP pick, even though he's missed the last 2 games and probably missing the game tomorrow. He is still an MVP caliber. And I had him at, 15 last year, and he's now 3. I knew Jalen Hurts was going to be good. I didn't know Tua Tagovailoa was going to be good. Let me not lie to you guys there. But I knew he was going to be good, and I was right. Well, my number 2, and this hurts me because I am a firm believer that he is better than I am a firm believer that Josh Allen is better than Patrick Mahomes, and you can't argue that fact. But based on this season, Josh Allen is the second best quarterback in the league, and Patrick Mahomes is the first. And I think that's just bias for being a Broncos fan that I think Josh Allen's better, and I'm also a Josh Allen fan. I love watching Josh Allen play. He plays with grit, dude. And then your number 1 is Patrick Mahomes. And that Broncos fan, but I respect his talent. I respect his talent and know he's good. It just I don't want to admit that he's good. But anyways, yeah, they're the same age. Huh. Mahomes has 84 speed and Allen has 88 speed. All right. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. get your W today. Have a great rest of your night.